Did you know some vegetables you eat every week could start affecting your health differently as you get older? It sounds dramatic, and it should get your attention, but the truth is both simple and important. After age 60, our bodies process food differently. Metabolism slows, digestion changes, and blood sugar control and kidney function can be less resilient than they used to be. That means foods we handled easily in our 30s might require a second look now. Let's be clear, vegetables remain a cornerstone of a healthy diet. But how they're prepared, the portion size, and whether they're fresh or highly processed all matter more as we age. A starchy side piled on a plate every day, or repeated exposure to certain packaging chemicals, can have different long-term effects than an extra serving of leafy greens. The goal here is not to scare you, it's to help you make choices that match how your body functions today. What changes exactly? 3 big things. Blood sugar regulation. Some carbohydrate-rich vegetables can raise blood glucose more quickly than others, especially when processed or eaten in large portions. Over many years, frequent spikes and crashes may increase strain on glucose control mechanisms. That doesn't mean you must avoid starchy vegetables altogether. It means balancing portions and pairing them with fiber, protein, or healthy fats to blunt sharp rises. Kidney and mineral handling. As the kidneys age, their ability to clear certain compounds can fall. Foods high in oxalate or other specific compounds may be more of a concern for people with prior kidney stones or compromised kidney function. Exposure to packaging chemicals. Canned foods can sometimes contribute small amounts of substances from can linings, like bisphenol compounds. For many people, occasional canned food is fine, but choosing glass-packed or fresh items reduces that route of exposure. Throughout this video, I'll call out common vegetables and packaging situations to watch, but I'll also give practical, tasty swaps so you don't feel deprived. And if you have diabetes, chronic kidney disease, or other medical conditions, check these tips with your doctor or a dietitian. They'll help you tailor them to your health profile. References for the concepts above: glycemic index and diet disease links, oxalate and kidney stone literature, evidence on chemical migration from can linings, and public health diet recommendations. Corn is a favorite at tables worldwide, sweet, familiar, and versatile. But in the context of aging bodies and blood sugar control, how you eat corn matters. Corn in a whole form, like corn on the cob or fresh kernels, affects blood sugar differently than highly processed corn products, cornflakes, cornbread, or sweetened canned corn. The glycemic response depends on the type and preparation. Whole forms tend to be gentler than refined corn products. If you're watching blood sugar or have diabetes, keeping portion sizes in check and pairing corn with fiber-rich vegetables, beans, or lean protein can help reduce the speed and height of a sugar spike. Popcorn and corn tortillas can be more favorable than highly processed cornflakes. Conversely, corn-based snack foods and heavily sweetened corn items are more likely to cause a rapid glucose rise. That nuance is important. The headline "corn is bad" is too simple. Potatoes deserve special attention too. White potatoes are high in starch and can raise blood sugar relatively quickly if eaten in large amounts or processed into fries and chips. Research has repeatedly shown that fried potato products, French fries, potato chips, are more strongly linked to higher risks of hypertension and metabolic disease than boiled, baked, or mashed preparations without excessive fat and salt. So, it's less about eliminating potatoes and more about how often and how you prepare them. Roasting a sweet potato with a little olive oil and herbs, or steaming and mashing a potato with olive oil and herbs, is a very different choice than eating deep-fried fries daily. Practical swaps and tips. Replace a large serving of fried potatoes with a medium sweet potato, roasted, or a mix of root veggies and a side salad. Sweet potatoes typically have more fiber and vitamins and a lower glycemic impact in many preparations. When enjoying corn, go for whole kernel forms and include a protein or fiber source on the plate. Limit processed snack forms of corn and potato. They deliver concentrated starch, fat, and salt. If glucose control or weight is a concern, focus on overall patterns. Reduce frequent high GI/processed carbs, increase vegetables that are lower in starch, and keep portion sizes mindful. For personalized targets, daily carb counts, portion sizing, check with your clinician or a dietitian. Eggplant gets praised for its meaty texture and low calories, but some headlines suggest it's a hidden inflammatory villain. That's an overreach. Eggplant contains natural plant compounds, including small amounts of alkaloids and oxalates, which are normal across many plants. For most older adults, regular servings of eggplant aren't a problem and can be part of a balanced diet rich in fiber and phytonutrients. Where caution is warranted is in people with specific health histories. If someone has a history of recurrent calcium oxalate kidney stones or significantly reduced kidney function, limiting very high oxalate foods can be prudent because oxalates can contribute to stone formation in susceptible individuals. Likewise, if a person notices that certain nightshade vegetables, eggplant, tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, appear to worsen joint pain or digestive symptoms for them, it's reasonable to test by reducing the food for a period and watching symptoms, because individual sensitivities vary. Simple strategies to reduce risk but still enjoy eggplant. Rotate vegetables. Don't eat large amounts of any single high oxalate food every day. Combine high oxalate vegetables with calcium-containing foods at meals, e.g., a dollop of yogurt, which can reduce oxalate absorption in the gut. Cook eggplant thoroughly. Some preparation methods reduce levels of certain plant compounds. It's also worth noting that many commonly recommended anti-inflammatory foods, leafy greens, colorful vegetables, nuts in moderation, olive oil, fatty fish, deliver benefits that counterbalance concerns about a single vegetable. If you have kidney stone history or chronic kidney disease, ask your clinician or a dietitian for a tailored oxalate plan. For the general older adult population, the message is balanced. Eggplant is fine for most, but people with specific medical issues should follow individualized guidance. Tomato sauce and canned tomatoes are convenient and nutritious in many ways. They're a rich source of lycopene and vitamin C. But canned goods can sometimes pick up small amounts of packaging chemicals from can linings. Bisphenol A, BPA, is a widely studied example. It has been found in traces in some canned foods and has been associated in observational research with changes in hormone-related pathways and some cardiometabolic markers. That said, research varies and many health agencies focus on reducing avoidable exposures rather than implying one meal will cause disease. Practical, measured advice. If you use canned tomatoes frequently, consider switching to glass-jarred sauces labeled BPA-free, or use fresh tomatoes when possible. Rinse canned vegetables before use, where appropriate, to reduce excess sodium and in some cases surface residues. Don't overstate risk. Occasional consumption of canned tomato products is unlikely to be the dominant driver of long-term disease for most people, but limiting repetitive exposures and choosing safer packaging when convenient are sensible steps. Sodium is an additional factor with many canned products. Excess sodium increases blood pressure, and reducing added salt in processed foods is one of the clearest dietary steps for lowering cardiovascular risk. So when choosing canned or jarred tomato products, look for low sodium or no salt added versions and add your own herbs and garlic to amp flavor without extra salt. If environmental chemicals are a particular concern, for medical reasons or personal preference, prioritize fresh or glass-packed produce, choose BPA-free labeled products, and limit highly processed ready-to-eat meals. For people with hormone-sensitive conditions or those worried about chemical exposures, discussing strategies with a clinician can be helpful. Now let's end on the positive. What to eat more of after 60. The best approach is a balanced pattern that emphasizes variety, fiber, and minimally processed foods. That's what major heart health and dietary guidelines recommend. Vegetables to prioritize. Leafy greens, kale, spinach, Swiss chard nutrient-dense, high in vitamins and beneficial plant compounds that support brain and eye health. Cruciferous veggies, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, including purple cabbage fiber-rich and linked with reduced inflammation markers in many studies. Colorful root vegetables and beets provide fiber, potassium, and antioxidants. Sweet potatoes are a nutrient-rich alternative to white potatoes in many recipes. Fiber-forward choices, okra, lentils/legume pairings, artichokes help steady blood sugar and support gut health. Meal swap ideas, easy, practical. Replace daily fries with a roasted veggie medley, sweet potato, carrots, red onion, and a small grain portion. Swap a giant baked potato for a medium sweet potato plus a green salad and lean protein. If you want tomato sauce, use a glass jar of low-sodium sauce or roast fresh tomatoes with garlic and olive oil. Enjoy corn on the cob occasionally, but balance the plate with beans, salad, or a protein to slow sugar absorption. A few lifestyle reminders. Portions matter. Older adults often need fewer calories but the same or more nutrients, so focus on nutrient density. Preparation matters. Frying in heavy creams add unhealthy fats and salt. Oven roasting, steaming, and sautéing with olive oil are better choices. Personalize. If you have diabetes, kidney disease, or other conditions, get individualized guidance from a healthcare provider or registered dietitian. Closing. Vegetables are still central to a long, healthy life, but choosing the right forms, preparations, and portions matters more as we age. Small swaps and attention to packaging can lower certain risks while letting you keep flavors and meals you enjoy. If this helped, like and subscribe for more senior-focused nutrition tips, and tell us in the comments which swap you'll try this week. If you have a specific health condition, run these ideas by your clinician before making big changes.